Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Today we are going to be talking about avoiding large groups of crowds. Directly in a protest confrontation with a white extremist groups. Now, you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. What's the whole point of marching towards them? They got rifles and guns and they're ex-military. It makes no sense. And once again, the governments that are around these groups, they got family members in those governments, and they'll have their back more than you. They'll make sure that they can get bailed out of jail real quick. You harm them, they can easily blame you for something that you never did to them at all. You could be innocent. So what's the whole point even going to these protests? You're always going to meet your own demise. A protest is nothing but an adult version of a temper tantrum. You're trying to ask the government to do this. Daddy, can you please do this? Can you please stop this? And the government is ignoring you and realizing you have no power over them. In the areas of southern United States, Charleston, those concentration areas of white supremacist groups, those small towns in the south of sundown towns that have a history of deleting black people for hundreds of years, you think they're going to be having your best interests when you try to confront them? No. If something happens to you, they will not care about you. They'll let you bleed out in the streets. And the time somebody finds you, it's too late. So why even put yourself in that predicament? Stay away from large crowds. Keep your distance. Monitor. Observe what's happening. If it gets worse, flee that area. Because guess what? They got military experience. You don't. Even if you have military experience, still be cautious. Never underestimate your enemy. Be humble and realize that you might still get beaten. But don't go down fighting. Defend yourself. You got a right to defend yourself, but use logic. Don't go off your emotions. Because here's the thing, though. A good fighter uses wisdom and understands, okay, it's not worth it. Even if you do win the fight, what's the whole point even going there? You could have put it all together by staying home or leaving that area altogether to not even engage in that nonsense. Also, check the demographic of the population in the U.S. Census. It was more white people in that town. And that town's 70%, 90% is a protest. You see hate groups around the Capitol. I guarantee you, they got family members in those governments, in those buildings, in high places that they can contact so they can have their back. So you got to understand, the government is people. The people govern the government, and they were raised in sundown towns, and they're passed down that racist ingrained nonsense in their minds since childbirth. I guarantee you they're going to hate you, and they're going to make sure their family members are going to be in more better positions than you once the child comes into play. It shouldn't be like this, but it's a stark reminder of how America has failed to adapt and kill its demons. This country's going to pay for its sins. This country's going to pay and it's going to fall. America is not invincible. This country is about to go and see God's judgment real soon. I see the country crumbling off this hatred that's been doing for centuries, and now it's finally starting to come around and bite them in the behind again. So I'm saying to you, be safe out there, have a wonderful day, and don't let people put you down, but be aware of large crowds. These large crowds are like this. They're extremist groups. They don't care nothing about you. They get more confident and they get more boastful when they know they have big numbers and you don't. So be aware. And remember, you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. So defend yourself if you have to, but be aware. Don't put yourself in that predicament to have to do anything of some sort.